Welcome to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School, where we explore all kinds of things, stories about quilting, tools, field trips, maybe some famous quilters stop by, and, of course, a little bit of copyright thrown in just for fun. This is Elizabeth Townsend-Gard. I'm a law professor, and I just want to quilt. On this episode, Ricardo and I pick the winner from our first giveaway. So it is a pretty short episode. It's under a half hour, probably 15-20 minutes. And we experience picking the winner and then thinking through what we're doing next with our giveaway experiment. Okay, so this is the recap, the weekly recap for week 7. So last week was our, we announced the big giveaway winner. That was super awesome. I still have to send your name to Stencil Company, so don't look in the mail yet. But that was super cool, and we were able to pick it, and Ricardo helped us pick it. Ricardo Gonzalez, my 2L law student. So that was super groovy, and we're really exhausted from the whole situation. So last week we had Haley Foster Gray on, super fun. And then we had Jana Thomas from Block Lock, and she came and told us about how they invented the little groove thing and why they can put that on all different kinds of rulers. And I've been working on a quilt using it, and it's really interesting. So that's been really cool, and we're hoping to have them on again and do more stuff with Jana. She was amazing. We also then had Raymond Houston. He is a quilter. He loves geometric shapes and Celtic, is that how you say it? Celtic knots. So he was on. And then Ann Bartow, who is a friend and a law professor, and she talked to us about intellectual property and things that we should be thinking about. Also, you guys started posting stuff about copyright, which is awesome, on the Facebook group. I haven't... well, it's been a little bit insane week, but I haven't responded yet because I want to be thoughtful about the responses, but I would love for you to keep posting. Once we're at summer, which for me starts May 1st, I'll start to really help you, and you're going to be so amazing at copyright. You're going to be able to tell everybody all about copyright, but not yet, so we'll get there really soon. Also, we did some really cool interviews last week that we're going to air hopefully this week, including Jackie Gearing, super famous quilter. Sean Kimber, super famous quilter. We also talked to the Paducah people. We talked to Bonnie Browning, who is the executive show director for the Paducah show, which was super cool. We also talked to who else did we talk to? We talked to Joel Seller, who is a local quilter here. I think that's pretty much it. There must be somebody else I might be forgetting, so I'm sorry if I'm forgetting. And you don't even know, I have Julia Driscoll sitting here right next to me. She's just gotten off a train from Chicago, and she's come for the week. So, yeah, that's super exciting. So, hi, Julia.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. This is my very first time in New Orleans, and wow.
And she's brought a quilt with her, which is super great, and we have tons of fun. Anyone listening to this, we're going to have an event at the law school on Tuesday to make my office look cooler, and because we may have people coming to film it, to photograph it on Thursday. So, but Julia is here, not because of that, because of other reasons, but you can meet Julia as well. And Julia was one of our very, very first interviews. Our very first interview, I think, right? Close to it. First or second interview in Chicago in the summer, and it was amazing. So, Julia, tell me what quilt you're working on right now.
I am working on my long unfinished project.
Switch up, so in case they can hear me.
The quilt that I'm working on right now, I grabbed out of the back of my closet. It's one that I began about 15 to 18 years ago. And actually closer to 18. And it was the very first time that I tried quilting. I had a book that I can't quite remember the title of, but it was made by the Leisure Art Company. And I used that to learn the basics of how to do a bunch of different blocks, and it walked you through the whole process. Being a overly ambitious, dare I say, arrogant 20-something with no family yet to speak of, I thought to myself, well, gosh, if I'm going to make a quilt, I am going to do it the right way, just like the pioneers did, and hand sew everything, because I had just come off of doing a lot of cross stitching, which is all hand done. And as I think is probably evidenced by that whole 18-year gap, I didn't quite pull that off. I couldn't bring myself to give up on the dream of the completely hand-sewn quilt for a long time, and then I just didn't want to face it because it was hanging over me. But I finally went ahead and machine sewed on the binding literally yesterday to this piece, and I think I'm going to do the rest of it by hand, but it was encouraging. The only other thing I will say for those of you who are going to be traveling with quilts in your life is that be prepared for bumps and to not be precise, because that was my other lesson that I learned.
You took the train.
Yeah, I took the train from Chicago to New Orleans, and every time we hit a little jolt, the needle did not go where I intended. Yeah. So, but it's nice to be back with it for a bit, and it's really cool to be down here and feel like I'm really part of this for a little while.
That's very cool. Well, I can't wait for her to meet the locals and others that if you're coming through or traveling, let me know because it's really fun to hang out. What else? So this week we have we're gonna air the Paducah one. Paducah seems really exciting and way overwhelming, super overwhelming, because there's a lot going on in Paducah, and we'll have a conversation about that. We'll also have who else? I don't remember. I think we're doing Sean Kimber and Jackie Gehring. These are both like massively well-known quilt people, and that's okay. And a few others. We'll have a few locals, and we'll have a few others, and a few others from the Facebook group. So I don't know. And we're going to play with Julia a lot this week, so we're super psyched that she's here. So that's the week recap. I'm sure there's other things. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday night, so, it's hard to remember anything at this point. Listen, our numbers look great. Thanks for listening. Keep listening. Join our Facebook group and, try to quilt. There's a lot of stuff that gets in your way, but try to quilt. At least for me, I just want to quilt. So this is Elizabeth Townsend Guard. You've been listening to Just Want to Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School. We want to hear from you. Join our army, our quilting army. Go to our Facebook page. Suggest people to be interviewed. Suggest yourself to be interviewed. We are excited to hear from you. But most importantly, I hope you get a chance to quilt today.